fellow crafters, Janine here, and today I am going to show you, if I can get this on my wrist, how I made this really cute sequined fall colored bangle bracelet using resin and a resin casting mold. I think it came out really cute and it's going to look so good with so many fall outfits. So if you'd like to see how I made this bracelet, just stay tuned. Okay, the products that I'm going to be working with today for this fall, beautiful fall bracelet is this Envirotex jewelry resin, which I've already mixed up about an ounce of it, about a half an ounce of each product. And you mix equal parts of the resin and hardener. Then you stir for 2 minutes, pour it into a separate little cup, stir again for 2 minutes, and then let it set for 2 minutes to let some of the bubbling come out of there. So I've already done that process, so that's going to set for a couple of minutes while I go ahead and put the sequins in my mold. And also important to note is I did use this mold release conditioner on my mold. I sprayed it, coated it thoroughly, then turned it over a trash can and shook out the excess, let that dry, came back and sprayed it again, and again shook out that excess and let it dry. Hopefully that'll help release our mold a little bit quicker. Now the sequins I'm working with I got at the Dollar Tree, and it was $1 for a pack of 6 different sets of sequins. And I also got these little containers that I'm storing them in at the Dollar Tree also, and it was a pack of 10 for $1, and it just worked out perfect. And this is just some beautiful fall colors. It's an assortment of golds, coppers, and bronze. So all I'm going to do is just take a little pinch of each color and simply sprinkle them around inside the mold. And since we have 6 colors, that's why I'm not taking more than a pinch, because by the time we do a pinch of all 6 colors, it should be pretty well full of sequins. Got all my sequins in there, and I think that looks like plenty. I'm just kind of making sure they're even around there. Alrighty, and now that my resin is set, I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in, and I'm going to leave a little head space so that if some of these sequins float up, I've got a little bit of room to push them back down without my resin overflowing. And then if some of them, after setting overnight, are still sticking up just a little bit, we'll be coming in with a second pour of resin, and that is going to help cover them up. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this on a level surface and let it cure for 20 minutes, and then come back and take a look at it and use my stir stick if I need to push any of the sequins down. So I'll be back once 20 minutes is up. Okay, it's been 20 minutes, and I had after about 10 minutes I went and checked on the sequins, and actually rather than floating up, they were floating down. So all the sequins were settling to the bottom end of the mold, and I really didn't want this to look more like it was really full of sequins. So I went ahead and sprinkled some more sequins down, and then just used my stir stick to kind of manipulate them and move them around. And then I just picked it up and looked at it, through the side to see if I was getting the look I wanted, and just kept adding sequins until it looked like, it had that full of sequins look. So for the most part, everything looks really good. So I'm just going to set this back on its level surface to cure overnight, and we'll come back in the morning and do the last pouring to finish filling in the mold, and I'll see you then. Okay, I've let this sit overnight and harden. So now I'm going to pour. I've just got a little bit mixed here because this is actually just about as thick as I want it. I just poured a little bit extra, just kind of finish it off and round out the top edge. So I'm just going to pour this in. And that's it. And what I'm going to do is let this sit a few minutes, and if some of these bubbles don't pop on their own, then I'm just going to use my lighter and go around it very quickly. I'm going to have to be very careful because this is plastic and not silicone. So I'm going to have to be really careful and just go over it really quickly with the lighter to pop the remaining bubbles. And then I'll see you back here tomorrow so we can unmold it and see what the final product looks like. Okay, so I have let this sit overnight again, and now it's time to unmold it. And the best way to go about that is to just kind of pull at the sides and release the seal, because it's kind of like a vacuum seal, and you've got to break that seal to be able to get the bracelet out. And what I'm going to do is just push the center through, because it's actually fairly pliable. And just keep pushing at the center. Until I've pushed it completely away from the bracelet, as you can see here. And that's going to make it a lot easier to unmold. I can tell you, you can do this a couple of times with this mold and still be able to mold in it again. But after a few times of doing this, it's going to lose its shape badly, and it's just not going to produce as good of a piece after a few times of doing that. But I really don't know how else to get it out. It's very difficult to get out. It's so much easier in a silicone mold. Let me show you a silicone mold I have close, like this one here. Because this is so pliable, you can literally just do like that and pop a piece right out and without any issues. But these plastic molds take quite a bit more work. And you have to just try and break that seal from around the outside edge too. There we go. Fabulous. Oh, and it's really cute. I love the look of the sequins. And they're just perfect for fall. That's going to be so cute. Go with fall outfits in those fall colors. And really and truly, I mean, you just can't go wrong with all these metallics. You've got bronze, copper, gold, rose gold. So it's going to look good with just about anything. Okay, the last step, and this really is important because this side, this edge that was in the mold, down in this part of the mold, is nice and smooth. And so it's going to go on and off your arm pretty easy without causing you any pain. But this side that was facing up when we cast it has these hard, sharp edges. So what you have to do to get rid of those is just take some fine grit sandpaper and just sand all the way around and keep sanding, sanding, sanding until you smooth those edges out. Now, if you have a rotary tool with a fine grit sanding bit on it, you could probably make much quicker work of this, but just make sure you wear a mask because you don't want to inhale any of that resin dust. And the other thing that's going to happen is where you've sanded on it, it's going to get a little bit cloudy. So what I do is take some clear enamel spray paint and just hit that surface where I've sanded it, and it brings that gloss back. So I'm going to go ahead and sand on this and probably go spray it with that spray paint and then come back and show you the finished piece. Okay, I finished sanding this edge fairly smooth. It's not as rounded as I would like it to be, but it's pretty good. And I did go ahead and give it a spray coating with the clear enamel spray, and that really did help bring the gloss back after all of that sanding. So overall, I think it came out really cute. I'm really pleased with the final product. I just think all those sequins floating up in that resin just looks really, really cute. So if you enjoyed seeing this resin casting project and you would like to see more resin casting projects, please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below and let me know. And thank you so much for subscribing if you already subscribe. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, go ahead and give it a little hit right now, because I try to have a new video up every Monday, and sometimes when I've had a chance to really get a lot of filming done and a lot of projects done, there'll be 2 projects a week. So hit that subscribe button so you can stay up on all the latest projects. As always, thank you for being here and watching this video today, and you have a very blessed day.